Well, the Nasdaq is rallying more than 2% right now. This now brings the year-to-date gains to 15.5%. There you can see the one-month view. Year-to-date up 15.5%. It is one of the, if not the best performing global markets. And Eric Jackson, who's been with us since the beginning of the hour, thinks this could be the legs of a sustained multi-month rally, because that's the wild card question. Is it a head fake? Is it not a head fake? And so you think, what, since best rally maybe since 1982, or parallels to 1982? What was the setup for those of us who don't remember it?
It was a great year, 82. I walked down to the corner store often and bought bubble gum and baseball cards and stuff.
I was just a hope and a dream at that point.
I think here's what people, I think, are forgetting about that time. Obviously, that was the last time we were dealing with out of control inflation, much worse than it's been this time around, in excess of 10% for years. But what's interesting, if you go back and look at the charts in August of 1982, that's the moment that the U.S. CPI dropped below 6.6.
Okay.
And it was kind of like basically Paul Volcker's steps were taking effect, and it was making a beeline kind of straight down, and within a few quarters was back at kind of the 2% range and stayed there for 40 years. So the market back then, after kind of waffling for a number of years, took that final signal that CPI had been broken, inflation had been broken, as a moment to rally. And so for the next 10 months, S&P was up 70%. NASDAQ was up 100% in those 10 months. Russell was up 110% in those 10 months. I think we could see a similar...
I don't remember. What were valuations? Because that's one thing people say is like we haven't bottomed because valuations don't bottom at 17 times.
In the early 80s, valuations were a lot lower for a lot more stocks. Now, the whole tech sector really didn't exist, obviously, in 1982. There's IBM, but, Xerox and things like that. So, there are differences. I'm not as fussed as some people about the whole, hey, we're expensive on 2023 earnings, because I think the market's already looking ahead to 2024. We have had a major compression in valuations, especially in tech. So, I think tech is poised to really rally.
It's interesting that you use the 1980s, because everybody talks the 1970s. And that when they talk about inflation now, they look at the fact that it had, double, triple tops. You're kind of going right to the end of the story. And some people worry that we're at the beginning of the story.
I don't think so. I think both the Bank of Canada and the U.S. Federal Reserve have done way too much already. It's already baked in the system. We're going to be feeling the effects of these rapid interest rate hikes for this year and next year. I don't think that they needed to raise a quarter point either in Canada or in the U.S. this last time. I think they're doing it to kind of because they knew they left it too long, and they really want to go the extra mile and going too far. So I just think that there's going to be a lot of unwinding from this over tightening that's going to have to happen. I think rate cuts are going to come later this year.
Well, you mentioned that one of your favorite ideas right now are shares of Apple and shares of Tesla. Are those your highest conviction, or do you have another high conviction name you want to drop for us?
Sure. The name I like the most in 2023 is Coinbase. It's the global crypto exchange, the dominant exchange. I think it's had a tremendous rally already this year, but I think what's people have failed to notice, it's basically back to the levels it was right before the FTX implosion. And so imagine that you're in any business and one of your major competitors just implodes, is gone, and you pick up a vast majority of their market share for free. That's basically what's happened with Coinbase. The other big competitor is an offshore exchange, Binance.
What about regulatory risk, though, on the
wake of FTX? Yeah, and that's why I love Coinbase, because they are the only player who said, I want to surrender to the regulatory regime of the U.S., go through the whole IPO process, do it the right way, as opposed to these offshore players who are doing it in a shady way. They're going to be, and they've done that in every domicile that they've gone into. If crypto doesn't have to go back to 2021 craziness levels.
That's what I was going to ask.
But Coinbase has continued to add users quarter after quarter. If they just go back to kind of marginally, interest in crypto and various tokens, and the whole crypto market cap is up like 35% this year, they will be enormously profitable. They've done some big cost cuts already in the last few weeks. They were profitable before the 2021 craze. So they're going to be the biggest public company that benefits from crypto.